Hi scholars, welcome to Read Aloud. I have loved getting to read informational text with you. We only have a few more, so I'm excited to learn even more in just the next few days. We get to read today and figure out ways that we can use text evidence to make conclusions and to better understand different topics. We're going to be thinking as we read, what's the author's purpose for writing this book? This book is all about lions. We get to read specifically about lion habitats that are under threat. We know that the first part of our informational text is going to be our table of contents. The table of contents is where we can find the different sections and what page they will be on. We get to learn today about things like lion numbers, tourism. Ooh, we've got that glossary at the back to help us better understand some of the words. Humans and lions, what can be done. Sounds like we're going to learn maybe like what we could do to help lions who are under threat. What is a lion? Lucky for us, we already read a whole text about big cats. The lion is a large mammal and is the second largest cat after the tiger. Lions live together in groups known as prides. They are cooperative hunters. They hunt together to catch prey, such as gazelles and antelope. Lions are often more active at night. Lions used to be found in many places around the world. Thousands of years ago, they were the second most widespread large land mammal after humans. But today, lions are under threat because they have become into conflict with humans. So we know that the lions are having some kind of problem with humans. Let's learn more to figure out what is going on and why they are threatened. Lion numbers, that's the title of this section. About 2,000 years ago, scientists believed that there were more than 1 million lions on Earth. That number has steadily decreased, that means going down, as the human population on the planet has risen. Just 50 years ago, an estimated 100,000 lions remained in Africa. Wow. It went from 1 million to just 100,000. Here we have the lion population graph showing the decline in lions. Today, it is thought that there are only between 32,000 and 35,000 lions left in Africa. Of these, around 24,000 are considered to be in safe areas, where their numbers are unlikely to fall quickly. More than 6,000 lions live apart from other groups. The survival of these lions is in doubt. I'm trying to think a little bit more about why the author wrote this section of the text, the section called Lions Numbers. Well, I know that it said earlier in the text that if the numbers of lions continue to fall, then they could be extinct by 2020. I read that over here on the graph. It says if lions' numbers continue to fall and decrease, the lions could be extinct by 2020. I think this book might have been written a few years ago, so I'm not sure if that is actually true because it is 2020 and I know that there are still some lions there. But I know that the author is probably thinking that he wants us to be kind of worried and understand that this is a serious problem lions are facing. We should be aware and figure out ways that we can help. Where are lions found? Lions once lived in many places on Earth, such as Israel, Iraq, Pakistan, Iran, and even some parts of Europe. Today, lions are mostly found in Africa. There is a small lion population in northwest India. The largest populations of lions are found in East Africa and Southern Africa. In countries such as Benin in West Africa, there are only about 480 lions. In Central Africa, there are about 2,500 lions. There are almost 20,000 lions still living in East Africa, with the greatest numbers in Tanzania. About 12,000 lions live in Southern America. Let's go ahead and look at this map. The map's title is Map Showing Where Lions Live in Africa. So what does this map tell us? Yeah, this map tells us which countries there are some lions, a lot of lions, or no lions at all. The countries that are red are extinct. That means there are no lions there because they're extinct. Orange means that there's severely reduced numbers. So there's some, but not a lot. The yellow lions still exist there. So the populations are doing okay. What is a habitat? We've been hearing this word a lot lately as we've read about different endangered animals. A habitat is the type of environment in which a plant or animal lives. The climate or weather in a place and the geography of habitats are usually different from one another. A habitat might have rainforest, grasslands, deserts, and plains. A habitat needs to have everything an animal or plant needs to live, including food and water. Lions are carnivores. What does a carnivore mean again? That word is bolded, so I know it's in the glossary, but we talked about that the other day. Who remembers? I remember. A carnivore is a meat eater. Their food includes prey animals such as antelope. It says an animal needs food, water, and shelter to survive in a habitat. Those are the essential things. Lion habitats. A lion's habitat is usually grassland, such as the savanna. In this type of habitat, there are many open plains filled with shrubs and grasses that can survive with little or no rain. These type of trees are spaced out across the plains. In the wet season, there is plenty of prey for lions. Rather than seasons like summer and winter, in a savanna, there are periods of wet and dry weather. During the wet season, the grasses and shrubs grow. These plants provide food and water for grazing animals, such as antelope and zebras. Lions hunt many of these animals. Causes of lion habitat and destruction. This might be important and tell us a little bit more about why the lion's habitat is going away. Lions' habitats are under threat because of humans. Many savanna areas where lions live are being taken over by humans. These areas are used for farmland and to make room for raising human populations. For a long time, global maps have shown savannas and woodlands covering large areas of Africa. Scientists have used satellite imagery to show that this is no longer the case. Many of these areas are now filled with fields and houses, destroying the lion's habitat. You can see here what the savannas used to look like and now what they're starting to look a little bit more like. So let's go back to that question about why did the author write this section? The causes of lion habitat destruction. Well, we read that lion habitats are under threat because of humans. So I'm thinking the author probably wants us to realize that we're part of the problem. Maybe the author wants us to feel a little bit guilty and see that we actually could try and do something different to change what's happening to the lion's habitats. Humans and lions. Lions need a large habitat to survive. They are forced to move often, following the herds of animals that they hunt. Because of the dry seasons, lions must keep moving around their territory in order to find water. As a result, they sometimes come into contact with humans. This can lead to conflict. There was a bolded word that's in the glossary, territory. I've heard that, but I want to double check I understand the meaning. I'm going to go back and look at the glossary. In the glossary, it says territory is an area that an animal thinks of as its own. Oh, that's helpful because lions are thinking that the area or territory where they live is theirs and they can do different things that they need to survive there. But then humans have started trying to make it their territory. I can understand that conflict. Lions that enter areas where people live cannot find their normal food. As a result, they find animals that humans need to survive, such as cattle. Lions often attack these animals because they're easy prey. Occasionally, even humans are attacked by lions. I'm trying to think now about the different ways that humans are harming the lions. I know that humans are turning in the savannas into different cities. I know that because it says these areas are used for farmland and to make room for rising human populations. So that's one way. And then we also learned that humans sometimes harm the lions when they eat different foods that the humans are growing or raising. Effects of lion habitat destruction. As human numbers continue to rise, they need more space in which to live. This results in the constant destruction of the lion's habitat, which has a huge impact on the entire ecosystem. Plants and animals from all parts of an ecosystem, which also includes air, water, and soil. Plants and animals within an ecosystem depend on each other to survive. If lion numbers continue to fall, then other smaller carnivores will take their place. This will have an impact on plants and other animals. So this says, and this is a picture of a hyena. It says, as lion numbers fall, other predators such as hyenas take their place, which we read will have an impact on other plants and animals. So what can be done? I'm glad that the author was getting us to think and understand that this is a big problem that we might want to help with because we feel kind of guilty and know it's the right thing to do. And now the author is providing us with ideas. Let's read. It is possible to preserve lion numbers and even increase them. One of the biggest problems is when humans and lions come in contact with each other. Livestock fences are being strengthened to stop lion attacks. And if the lions are unable to kill livestock, then humans are unlikely to hunt and kill the lions. That's one way to solve that problem. One of the main ways to help lions is to learn more about them. That's what we're doing right now. Humans are slowly starting to understand how important lions are because of their position in the ecosystem. Local people are starting to realize that killing lions is not a good way to protect their livestock. Game reserves. Game reserves are areas set aside for wildlife. They are very important for saving lions. In these areas, lions are safe from being hunted. Few humans are allowed to use the land for farming or building homes. The human population continues to rise. Therefore, we need to grow more food and provide more houses. However, since the land on the game reserve can rarely be used for this purpose, it stops the lion's habitat from being destroyed. As a result, humans and lions are less likely to come into conflict with one another. That sounds like a great solution. So now we get to learn about this national park in Tanzania. Serengeti National Park in Tanzania has almost 3.7 million acres of savanna, which is the perfect habitat for lions. The park has millions of prey animals such as wildebeest and gazelles. The park is home to about 4,000 lions. The lions are free to move around in their natural habitat and are unlikely to come in contact with humans. Only the local tribe is allowed to live in the area, and their numbers and farms are very small. Tourism. The lion is one of the most recognizable and loved animals in the world. Show me a heart if you love lions. I know that I love lions and I think they're really cool and beautiful. As a result, people from all over the world come to see the lion in its natural habitat. People in Africa are beginning to understand that the destruction of the lion's habitat means that tourists will no longer be able to see the lion in the wild. Tourism brings a lot of money into Africa. Many people go on safaris where they pay to see these animals. More money can be made by preserving the lion's habitats than by using the land for farming or housing. So it sounds like if we could use some of this money from tourism to help the lions, it would help the tourism industry, which would then help the people of Africa. So that's the last section of this text before we get to the glossary. We've learned a lot about lions' habitats and why they're under threat. Now, my challenge for you is to go back to our thinking question. The thinking question was, why did the author write this text or this book? When you give your answer, I'm going to be listening to make sure that you include some text evidence. You need to include text evidence to explain your answer. That will help you in making sure you've really figured out why the author writes lion habitats under threat. You guys have got it. I can't wait to hear why you guys think the author wrote this text.